today, Xcel Energy came out with its long-awaited wildfire mitigation plan. It says it needs $1.9 billion to prevent future wildfires. And right now it faces hundreds of lawsuits over the Marshall Fire that destroyed more than 1,000 homes and killed 2 people. Boulder County officials say sparks from an unmoored power line was one source of that fire, and it was driven by high winds. Your reporter in the foothills, Alan Gionet, joins us live tonight. So, Alan, Xcel wants customers to pay for the improvements in a series of rate increases.
Ultimately, those increases would add up to nearly 10%, Karen, about $9 a month on the typical bill of an increase. Now, Xcel says this is needed because of evolving risk, things like climate change, which some consumer advocates say Xcel is partly responsible for. But it comes amid the reality of more lawsuits against power companies following wildfires. Fire is a reality that has grown only more severe in recent decades, tearing through high country forests and through suburban neighborhoods.
This plan is intended to mitigate to the greatest extent possible the risk of our equipment igniting a wildfire.
Xcel's Colorado President Robert Kenney and the company's area vice president of wildfire mitigation, Ann Sherwood, are trying to sell the idea of $1.9 billion in work to update systems and infrastructure.
The technology that's out there is going to provide great benefits to our customers.
To cut the risk of fires, Xcel wants to bury lines, change out wires, even install cameras, which it says can use AI to spot fires earlier. Why charge customers for it? Why not the company and its shareholders?
So I would think a little bit differently about the question and would argue that we're not charging extra. We're charging what it costs to be able to do the things that you just described.
Wildfire mitigation is part and parcel of the normal business operations of a utility. It's part of the basis for them being granted a monopoly.
Joe Pereira with the state's Office of Utility Consumer Advocate is skeptical.
In and of itself, it's a large plan, but it's also pancaked on top of a series of large asks from Xcel.
For many customers, power bills have risen by about a third over the past 5 years.
What we're saying is that there's really a dual responsibility in a thing like wildfire mitigation for the customer and the company.
But Xcel believes it can make the case with the Public Utilities Commission. Now, Xcel wants to be able to do more things like more power pole inspections, and it wants better switching to be able to de-energize lines, which, if you remember, it did during a high wind event earlier this year and was widely criticized for the way it was conducted and the way they communicated about it. Ultimately, this will be up to Colorado's Public Utilities Commission to approve the plan and the potential rate hike. I'm Alan Gionet, covering Colorado First.
All right, Alan, thank you.